Okay.
So taking advantage of the market,
Mhm.
I am very sure this one will give me the money back
You'll get your
within a
returns,
short
your
year.
money in a short while.
Yeah.
Okay. Moranga, Abraham, you had raised your hand. Go ahead, Moranga. Just not for you. I'll record. I've started recording the session, so that for those who will miss or if you require for revision, you'll still access it at a later date. So, Moranga, go ahead. Abraham, we can't get you. Probably you can refresh your page.
I'm saying
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
within a 2 years period, it will be not enough time for
No, we can't get you. You're too
the
low. Can Abraham, we can allow you to give us your point, refresh your page, and then come back again. We'll still give you chance. Huh? Please, okay. Refresh your page, then come back. We'll still give you chance so that you give us your view. Another person who like to give us his or her view? Claim agencies, Claremo agencies, you had unmuted. You still have the knee. Can you give us your point? So now we have said, so you have said agroforestry. Okay. Okay, thank you. So you said agroforestry will give us the shortest, within a short period, we'll have recovered our money. But now, if we want to look at in terms of percentage of return, oh, if we are looking in terms of return in percentages, which one will give us a highest percentage in 5 years? We still have dairy farming, agroforestry, shares, rental houses, and cereals. If we are comparing a fixed period of 5 years, which will have given us the maximum return in terms of percentage on return, which will give us highest interest rate, highest rate. Abraham supports you also eucalyptus. Okay, but will not be harvested within 2 years. So if we are talking now of returns in percentages, which of the 5 projects is likely to give us the highest return in a 5 years period? If we are fixing our return for 5 years, which of the two will have given us highest return? Dairy farming, agroforestry, shares, rental houses, and cereals. Rebecca, which one do you think will give us maximum, highest return in 5 years?
In form of percentage.
Yes,
So do you do the calculation in percentage like annually or monthly?
annually average. Let's say average for 5 years. Which one is likely to give us highest percentage in return?
One thing that I need to be sure if I understand what I'm doing
Yeah,
and the market that I'm focusing, and if the market is favorable to me, like there's a space for the product is needed.
yeah.
The thing that I'm offering, these
Okay.
services or the goods.
Hmm.
I can't really tell which one unless
Yeah.
I'm sure of those factors.
Okay. So now when it comes to percentage, you probably will need to do the computation so that we have the figures and compare and see what happens. Now, that's a good introduction to how we make investment decisions. And that's what we want to discuss for today. How people are able, or how organization is able to make decisions pertaining a particular project. Why an organization will decide to sell, let's say, a house and rent the same house. Why, for instance, an organization like Uchumi Supermarket made a decision to construct 4 shopping malls, and then operate in their own premise. Then, whereas other supermarkets were operating rented premise. Get it? So we want to look at how we make those such decisions, and in that perspective, there are two methods that we'll use to compare that and make that particular decision. The first method, you can note it down. We have what we call traditional method. Can note it down, traditional methods. Traditional methods are also referred as a non-discounting method. Now, for those under traditional method or non-discounting methods, we have two areas, subdivisions that we use. The first one, we have what we call payback period. Payback period. The second one is accounting rate of return. Now, when it comes to payback period, that's why I've asked you, if we have these 5 projects, which of the projects is likely to give us back our 2 million, but the project is still running within the shortest period? So in that case, with the payback period, we are concerned about how soon we can recoup back our money. How soon we can recoup back our money. Then accounting rate of return, we are just concerned about average return on investment. At what percentage are we going to get as a return from a particular business? Then we are also able to evaluate from a number of available opportunities. Then we are able to compare and then see which one will give us maximum return. Then after the traditional method, we look at modern methods. Modern methods. Modern methods are also referred as discounting methods. So modern methods are also referred as discounting methods. I will tell you what that essentially means. So under discounting methods, we have 3 subdivisions that we'll consider. The first one, we look at net present value. We look at net present value. The second one, we look at profitability index. Profitability index. Then we'll look at the last one, internal rate of return. Internal rate of return. So I'll explain. When we talk of modern methods, or when we talk of discounting methods, as much as somebody, as much as I was asking, which within 5 years, which project is likely to give us the maximum return? Now, in that case, the return we are going to get in year 1 and the return we are going to get in year 5, they don't carry the same value. That if you have 1,000 shillings today, it's not equivalent to having 1,000 shillings 5 years ago. What you have done with the 1,000 shillings 5 years ago is so much that you cannot do with it today. Today, if you go with, for instance, If we went to a supermarket 5 years ago with 1,000 shillings and do shopping, they will have to package in a nylon boxes, several of them, several manila boxes, so that you are able to carry your shopping. But today, if you go to a supermarket with 1,000 shillings, probably you'll only need a carrier bag of, let's say, 20 shillings or even less, and it will not be full. Even nobody will notice you have carried items worth 1,000 shillings. So in that case, the value of the 1,000 shillings, as much as still 1,000 shillings, but the value is different. What you could have done is not what you are going to do. So when we deal with the traditional method, we make assumption that a shilling is a shilling. Either you get it today or you get it next after 5 days or 10 days, is still a shilling. But if with the modern methods of discounting method, we have to appreciate that a shilling that you have today is much stronger than a shilling you'll get tomorrow. So with that brief introduction, I would like to share a question. You note it down, then we see how to solve that particular question. So within this, we'll have multiple questions, have several questions, and with those several questions, we'll solve using all the 5 methods, that the 2 under traditional and 3 under modern methods. But we'll first of all deal with the traditional method so that we exhaust traditional method, then we go to modern methods. So let me share a question. Let me share a question. And then you note it down, then we are able to tackle it. Hope it's clear on your side. So I'll give you modest 3 minutes. You note that particular question down. Hello. Hello. I hope you have already recorded that. Confirm if you have already done. Yeah. Clearing agencies, man. Probably clearing agency. Can you share with us your name so that I'm able to refer to you with your name rather than business name? I'll appreciate. Another person who is done. Okay, Peter. Thank you, Peter. Another person who is done? Okay. No, rest probably once you sort out, and next time you log in with your name, so that I'm able to refer to you with your names. Hmm? No, I'm not. You use this. Let's see. Welcome. Derek is done. At least 3 people. Once 3 people are done, we start off. And the third person to confirm. The third person to confirm if it's done. Okay, Abraham is done. Space beam data. Probably space beam, you can also share with us your name so that I am able to refer to you with your name rather than a business name. It will be better for us. Okay, thank you. Now we are done. We want to evaluate and see. Okay, thank you, Ivy. Thank you, Maraga. So we want to solve. Just a minute. I lower this down and get. Let me stop sharing this and now share a whiteboard so that we solve. I know the first one will be very exciting. You'll enjoy. And then after you have solved one and second one, you'll be good to go. Just a minute, I'm sharing a whiteboard. So, this particular question has given us the cash flows, and we want to see how soon we'll collect our money. So now, for us to compute the payback period, we'll come up with a table. I believe you are able to see the whiteboard I'm sharing. So we'll draw a table. This is how the table will look like. Because I'm using a mouse, it may not be very straight, but for you, I had notified you to get a ruler on time, so I believe you will draw something better. So the first will have period. I'll note it just P. The second one will have cash flow. Cash flow. And then we'll have cumulative. Cumulative. So I'll allow you to draw that table. You draw it within a minute. Draw the table. We'll have 3 columns. Where I've written P is period. Period. And then cash flow. Cash flow. And then cumulative. 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 Yeah, cumulative. Period. So under period, if you are done, under period, we start off with the period 1, and that question had from period 1 to period 6. So we will not consider period 0. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Under cash flow, we'll record the cash as it is. So period 1 was 13,000. So we'll record here 13,000. Then 8,000. Hmm. 8,000, 14 and 12, 14,000. And then 12,000. So then we have 11 and 15. Draw 11,000. And then finally we have 15,000. Hopefully up to that we are still together with everybody. Is everybody where we are? Alex Etiang, welcome. Alexander Eyong, welcome. We have just started. So is everybody where we are? And thank you, Abraham.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, we are together.
We are together. So hopefully I don't need to lose you. We should progress together. Now we want to fill in progress in the cumulative. Now for cumulative, one, I have to mention for this particular question, we started with the year 0. Now in year 0, that's, and you, as you can see the figure in year 0 is in brackets. That means that's the year we are investing. That's the year, if at all you are investing dairy, that's the year you are buying dairy cows. You are spending money. So you cannot spend money and get cash inflow immediately. That's why you have not started with the year 0. But now when you look at other methods, you will start with that year 0. So don't worry. There are some methods that will use that particular information. Now, for cumulative, this is the money we are getting. In year 1, because you have just started the business, so we have only gotten 13,000. So we'll note it down. Cumulative for year 1 will be 13,000. Now, at the end of year 2, we will have received 8,000 for year 2 and 13,000 for year 1. So how much will be the total?
That will be 21,000.
21,000. So cumulative will record here 21,000. So for year 3, we'll have received 13,000 for year 1, 8,000 for year 2, and 14,000 for year 3. So how much will be our cumulative?
That will be
35,000. Thank you. That will be 35,000. So on year 4, we'll receive additional 12,000. So how much will be our cumulative now?
47,000.
47,000. Thank you. Remind us, how much was our initial investment?
40,000 shillings.
Yeah?
Was it 2 million?
No, that 2 million from this question I've shared. Sorry.
40,000 then.
40,000, yes, thank you. So, and we are concerned about payback period. So with the payback period, we are concerned when do we get our money? So as from this cumulative, have we already surpassed 40,000?
Yes.
Yes, we have surpassed 40,000. But we are concerned when do we get our 40,000? So in that case, we will require year 1, year 2, and year 3 will not have recovered our 40,000. But now when it comes to year 4, we don't require the whole year to recover 40,000. So this is what we'll write. We require 3 years, 3 years, plus we want to determine the fraction of year 5, or rather year 4, that we require for us to recover our 40,000 in full. Now, from the end of year 3, how much is remaining to get us to 40,000?
5,000.
Yeah?
5,000.
5,000. Thank you, 5,000. So this 5,000 will divide in year 4. How much are we getting in year 4?
7. Oh, 12.
12,000. Thank you. So we divide this 5,000 by 12,000. 12,000. How many months do you have in 1 year?
12 months.
12 months. We'll multiply by 12 so that we get how many months do we require for us to recover our 40,000 in full. So do that summation, 5,000 divided by 12,000 times 12. Once you have the answer, let me know.
5 months.
5 months.
5 months.
That's yes.
So in that case, our payback period is 3 years, 5 months. Payback period is equals 3 years, 5 months. Have I lost anybody so far? Anyone who has a question so far on that before we move on to the next method?
No, my question is, if it's divided and the months come not an exact figure, do we again divide into dates, or we leave it at 5 point, let's say 3 months, in the event it's not a round figure?
Yes. You can round off. Huh? You can round off. If it's below 0.4, you round off to. If it was, let's say 5.4, you can round off to 5 months. But if you have 5. Clear? Hello, is that clear? Any other question or concern? So if there's none, using the same question, we'd like to calculate accounting rate of return. Then now we'll be able to appreciate the difference between the accounting rate of return and the payback period before we can move on to modern methods. So let's do the same computation for accounting rate of return. Now, accounting rate of return has a formula. Just a minute. Accounting rate of return, ARR. The formula is average cash flow divided by average investment Average investment then we'll multiply by 100 so that we get the rate, a percentage. Multiply by 100. So for us to get the average cash flow, average cash flow is equals total cash flow, total cash flow divided by period, divided by period. So now in this case, we had period up to 6 years. So add the cash flows from, okay, let me give you a formula for average investment, then now we can work it together. For average investment, average investment for us to get average investment, we get, the formula is initial investment, initial investment plus residual value, residual value then we divide by 2. So for total cash flow, for us to get the average in cash flow, total cash flow will add all the cash flow from year 1 to year 6. Then the period is 6 years. So we divide by 6 to get average cash flow. Now, for us to get the average investment, we need to get initial investment, in this case, which is 40,000. Then we divide by residual value. Now, for residual value, there are 2 options we look at it. There's some investment which initial investment and residual value is same. For example, if you invest in government securities, you have bought bonds, government bonds, or government bonds. We expect that if you have bought for 6 years, every year you'll be given interest. Then at the end of the 6th year, you'll be given back your initial investment. So in that case, initial investment and residual value will be same. Then we divide by 2, we still get the same amount. Then we have also investment that have depreciation. If at all you have taken money and you have bought a motor vehicle, after 6 years, you cannot sell off that motor vehicle and get the amount of money your initial investment into that particular business. So in that perspective, we'll have our initial investment, then we'll have salvage value or residual value. So now for this case, we have not been given any information about depreciation. So we'll take it that the business does not depreciate. So let's get our total cash flows. Who has already done the summation? Our total cash flows. Rebecca, you've raised your hand. Go ahead.
It's 73,000.
73,000. Thank you, Rebecca. So to get average cash flow, we do 73,000 We divide by 6. How much do you get? We divide 73,000 divided by 6. How much do you get?
$12.16.
Yeah?
12.166.
No? Just you say you can't hear, kindly refresh your side. Now, 73,000 divided by 6, you get? Who else has a different figure? You can't get 12.16.
Oh, it's the same.
12.16. Yeah?
12,166.667.
Yes. You repeat the figure. It's 12,000. 12,100. Come up again, please. 12,000.
166.
166.
0.667.
0.67. So, and as we said, if we have not been given any information pertaining salvage value or depreciation, in that case, our initial investment and salvage value or residual value is same. So in that case, we'll have 40 plus 40,000 plus 40,000 divided by 2, we still get 40,000. So for us to get the accounting rate of return, ARR we'll say is equals 12,166.67. Then we'll multiply this by 40,000. We'll multiply this, divide rather by 40,000. Then multiply by 100 to get a percentage. What's the answer? What's the answer to that? Joyce, confirm if you can get us now.
30.42.
You said 30.42%.
Yes.
42%. Now, let's get the difference between the two methods and why we'll use one method and not the other. If we are using for accounting rate of return, one, we have considered all the monies that we received for the 6 years. So in that case, it's likely to be more factual. But with the payback period, we are only concerned when we receive our money. We are assuming the other monies that would have received. The other money for the other years, we assume it as if it's not crucial or it's not important. So that's the disadvantage for payback period and the advantage for accounting rate of return. So advantage for rate of return that we consider all amount. Derek Amosh, you have an issue. I can see you have raised your hand. Derek? Okay, thank you, Joyce, if you can hear. Derek, you have an issue? Okay.
No, I'm okay, sir.
Yeah? You're okay? Okay, progress. So I'd given you the one disadvantage of payback period is that we only consider when we get our money and then we ignore the other monies that will come. So in that case, it's not very factual, accurate. The accuracy level of accuracy is slightly low. But now, when we use the accounting rate of return, we consider all cash inflows. So in that case, it's likely to give us more factual information. So, any question so far on that? Before we look at another question, we'd like to look at now how we use this information to make decisions. How we can use this information, accounting rate of return and payback period, to make decisions. Just a minute, I share with you question number 3. Let me share with you question number 3. Nancy, you have something to share with us?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, go.
I missed the question 1.
Uh-huh.
I never copied question 1 due to
I'll
network.
still send you the questions, huh?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but be faster. Copy question 3. Question 3 is already on the screen. We still use the first two, the accounting rate of the payback period and accounting rate of return. And
I
then
have a question.
go ahead.
How about the other remaining questions? The net present value profitability index, internal rate of return.
Okay. So when I introduced the unit, I said we have 3 categories of the methods. The first one is traditional method, or which is non-discounted method, and that's what we are dealing with first. Then we go to discounted method or modern methods. Sasa, is that
Okay, so those other questions fall under the
yes?
modern.
Yeah, those other 3 are under modern methods. So we
Thank
deal
you.
with the traditional, then we go to modern.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So take a minute to note down that about Mapato Investment Limited. Once you are done writing, let me know. Once you are done writing, at least if we get 3 people who are done, we start off analyzing. Nancy, if you don't want to talk to us, kindly you mute so that you don't get background noise. Only unmute if you want to talk to us. Mosh, Derek, you can lower your hand if you also don't want to talk to us. Or you can talk to us. Lower your hand. Or you want to talk to us? Okay, thank you. Who is done? Rebecca, are you done? Yeah, I can see you have raised your hand. Okay, and, Alexander is done. Maranga is done. Who else? Nancy, you have raised your hand. Are you done? Okay. Okay. Joyce is done. So we can start analyzing. So we start with the payback period, then we go to accounting rate of return. Thank you, Joyce. So I'll stop sharing that so that I'm able to share the whiteboard. So draw that table for payback period. On that table, we had period, cash flow, and then cumulative. Cumulative. So, fill in the information for period. That's 1 up to 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then fill in for cash flow. 500,000, 400,000, 300,000, 100. Four hundred. 300. Sorry. Just to ask you, what was our initial investment for this question?
100.
Yeah?
A million.
Yes, thank you. 1 million. 300, then 100. So we'll do this together for project A, then I'll give you some few minutes to do project B so that we all get together. So cumulative for project A, for the first year, how much will we write?
500,000. Have a million.
500,000. Year 2?
900.
900.
900.
1.2.
1.2. And remember, our initial investment was 1 million. So in that case, we require year 1 and year 2, but we only require a fraction of year 3. So we write here 2 years plus how much is remaining to get us to 1 million at the end of year 2?
100,000.
100,000. How much are we getting from year 3?
300,000.
300,000. How many months do you have in 1 year?
12 months.
That times 12. What's the answer?
4 months.
2 years, 4 months.
Yes.
2 years, 4 months. Now, can we take some 2 minutes to do project B? alone. Then once you are done, you let us know. Do project B alone. Rebecca, you have an answer?
No, it's not adding up.
Why?
It's less.
Uh-huh. Who else? Who has gotten an answer to that? Who has gotten an answer apart from Rebecca? Alexander, what is your answer?
Still working on it.
Okay. Joyce? Yeah. Yeah, we are waiting for you. Abraham? Abraham? Abraham, it seems your microphone is not okay. You can chat. You can type. Whoever is done, apart from Rebecca. Yes, Joyce, we are doing payback period for project B. I've done for project 1. We have done project A together. So we're doing for project B so that we see how we use payback period to make decision. Apart from Rebecca, anybody else who is done? Joyce has gotten 2 years, 4 months. For project B, Joyce, kindly clarify. 2 years, 4 months was for project A. So Abraham says by end of year 4, he will not have gotten his money back. So that's true, because by the end of year 4, the second project will not have gotten us 900,000. So now, if we are using that to make decision that we choose a project that has the lowest period. So in that case, project A has the lowest payback period, so we should choose on project A to invest in. Let's do for accounting rate of return and see what we get. So for accounting rate of return, we said we
I
add
have a
all.
question.
Yes, go ahead.
Asking what is the conclusion? Because the project B
Mhm.
by year 4
Yeah,
it was lower, like less by
it was only
100,000.
900,000.
Yeah. So
And that's what I've said for decision, how we use accounting payback period to make decision. We choose a project that has the shortest period for us to recover our money. So in this case, project A will be more ideal. For project B will not be ideal because by the end of the 4 years, we will not have recovered our money. Is that now clear?
yes, thank you.
Welcome. So let's do now accounting rate of return. Accounting rate of return. Now with accounting rate of return, I said we add all the monies, then divide by 4. We'll divide by 4 so that we get average cash inflows. Who has the average cash inflow for project A? Who has a total of cash flow for project A?
Yeah, it's 1.3 million.
1.3 million. Divide by 4. Divide by 4. 1.3 million divided by 4.
32, 325,000.
325,000. So for us to get the payback period, we do 325,000, we divide by 1 million and multiply by 100. So 325 divided by 1,000 times 100. Who has the rate? Who has the rate? Who has the answer? Thank you, Abraham. 32.5. Percent. Thank you. So let's do for project B. That's 900,000 divided by 5, divided by 4. 900,000 divided by 5, by 4. How much do you get?
225,000.
225,000. So for us to get the accounting rate of return, it will be 225 divided by 1,000. Then we multiply by 100.
Is it 1,000 or 1 million?
It's 1 million, but remember the cash flow is also 225,000. So the 3 zeros will still cancel.
Yes.
That's why I've written 225 and I've divided by 1,000. What do you get?
$22.5.
22.5. As a rational investor, which project will you invest in? As a rational investor, which project will you invest in if you get those? Project A. Thank you, Abraham. We'll invest in project A because it has the highest accounting rate of return. So the decision criteria for accounting rate of return, we choose a project that has the highest accounting rate of return. So in that case, we'll choose project A. Any question up to that before we move on to now the next level? Anyone with a question or concern? If there's none, then we move on to the next level. So we want to try and see now the modern methods. Then once we have done the modern methods, we'll now do the comparison between modern methods and traditional methods so that you are able to see the difference between the two. So with modern methods, we'll combine net present value and profitability index. Then internal rate of return, we'll do it at a later period. So we'll do the first two, then see how, because they are correlated, then the last one is independent. So we start off with the first particular first question that we had done with the traditional methods. Now, for us to be able to do for accounting for the modern methods, there's a table I had circulated earlier. By confirmation, who has not printed it? Anybody who has not printed that particular table? Nancy, have you printed the table?
Yes.
Okay. Go one by one so that we confirm those who have not printed. Alexander, have you printed the table? Derek, have you printed the table? Okay, Alexander, go ahead. Have you printed the table?
I'm just printing now.
No, sir.
Okay, print it immediately. We are giving you a minute as we confirm. Derek, have you printed the table? Derek, have you
No,
printed?
sir, I've not printed the table.
You have not printed? Ivy, Karaoke, have you printed that table?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Joyce, you confirmed. Kenneth,
Yes, yes, I have.
okay. Joyce,
Yes, I've printed it.
okay. Rebecca, you have just joined. Do you have the table I had sent earlier? Okay, so let's do modern methods. Majority of you have the table. For those who don't have, you will still follow. Don't shy away. You still be able to follow. So we'll start off with the first particular project, and we want to start with the net present value. And as we said, with modern methods, we are going to discount this cash flow. We are going to discount this cash flow because we do appreciate that the amount of money we receive in year one, the 13,000, for example, we receive in year one, could have higher value than the 15,000 we received in year six. As much as 15,000 looks more in volume, but now the value of 13,000 could be higher because 13,000 we received in the first year. So we want to discount. Now, for us to be able to do that, this is what we'll draw. Just a minute. We'll come up with a table, and this is how that table will look like. This is how the table will look like. The same way we had drawn for payback period. So the first, we'll start off with the period. Then we'll have cash flow. Now, the only unique feature here, now the period will start with the 0. With the modern method, we start with the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then, after cash flow, we'll have PVIF. I'll illustrate that for you. Now, for the first question, have you seen any interest rate that has been indicated? What is the market rate for that?
12.
12. So we'll do PVIF 12%. 12%. Then after PVIF, we'll have net present value. NPV, net present value. Now, let me explain for period. You already know, I've explained, you have done that with the payback period. Cash flow, you already understand, you have done with the payback period. We copy it as it is in the question. Now, PVIF stand for, PVIF, you can note it down, PVIF stand for present value interest factor. Present value interest factor. I repeat, present value interest factor. Now, this present value interest factor, we have to use the percentage that has been provided. So we are going to use 12%. That's why I'm denoting it PVIF at 12%. Now, what does it essentially mean? That these are decimals that we are going to use to discount our cash. The decimals that we're going to use to discount our cash. Then NPV stands for net present value. Now, for us to get the net present value, we will multiply cash flow times PVIF. The figure we get, that's what we are referring as net present value. So I'll start off by filling in the cash flows.
Sorry, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm asking the 12%. Where is it coming from, or is that another question?
No,
Was
from
it
the
supposed
first
to
question
tell
we did.
the first one?
Yeah, the first question we did. You remember it?
Uh,
Check
I
on
think
it.
it
is it
was
the
10. It was
Yeah.
10%.
no, the first is the market rate is 12%.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the first one, sure. Okay, thanks.
That's how
And
welcome.
then the PVIV, is it interest what F stands for?
PVIF, I've said present value interest factor.
Factor. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, present value interest factor.
Okay, thank
Uh-huh.
you.
So I'm filling in the cash flow. $14, $12, $11. $14, $12, $11, and $15. Then the last one is 15. Then now for PVIF for year 0, not that. For year 0, PVIF will always be 1, regardless of the percentage. For year 0, the PVIF will always be 1. Now, for the other years, refer to the table. Check on the table I had sent earlier. On that table, on the extreme left, there's period. And the period runs from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to 60. Rather, before we check on the period, there are two tables in one. Huh? The table I had sent you, there are two in one. So as there are two in one, check on the first table and see the title. Have you seen the title for the first table?
Yes.
Can you read for us?
Present value interest factors for $1 discounted at K% for N periods. Then there's that present value interest factor. The formula
Okay.
is there, which is equals to yeah.
Yeah. And then on the second table,
Present value interest factors for a $1 annuity discounted at K% for N periods. And then there's that formula.
PV. Now check on the second table is PVIFA. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Now the difference between these two tables, for the first table, we are concerned when you are investing a lump sum, then we expect to receive cash inflows in bits. For example, if you are investing in dairy farming, you are investing a lot of money at a go, then you expect to receive small installments as the year goes by. Or if you are investing in agroforestry or shares and rental, the business you had denoted, you invest a lot of money at the beginning of the investment, then you expect to be receiving money as it goes. The second table, it denotes where you are going to invest bits of money, then you expect at the end of the investment you'll be given a lot of money. For example, if you invest in education policy, insurance, life policy, education policy, and all that, you will be given amount of money that you will be paying, you are expected to be paying on monthly basis. Then at the end of the period, you expect to be given a lump sum. Good. That's where we'll apply the second table. Now, for this case, we are going to apply the first table. So on the first table, on the extreme, where there's blue, check where there's blue, there's period, and it runs from 1 to 50. I believe you have seen from period 1 to period 50.
Yes.
You have seen that, huh?
Yes.
Then at the top, there's percentages.
Yes.
Have you seen the percentages round from 1%
Yes.
to
1
30%?
to 30. Yeah.
Yes. Now go to where there's 12%.
Yes.
You have seen 12%?
Yes.
Now 12% at year 1, period 1. What is the need, that value?
0.8929.
Okay. 0.8929. For period 2?
0.7972.
0.7972. The third one?
0.7118.
0.7118.
Yes.
The third one, fourth one.
0.6355.
0.6355. 5. Fifth one?
0.5674.
0.5?
674.
74. Next one?
0.50.
0.50.
66.
66. Next one?
No.
Yes?
Is it at 6?
Yeah?
6 is 0.5066. Oh, sorry.
Oh, see, we have already covered 6 years, huh? So now, to get net present value, Rebecca, your hand is up. You can unmute and tell us.
Oh, sorry, that was a mistake.
Okay, sir. Okay. So we multiply cash flow against the PVIF. And just before we multiply, just look at it. When you look at it, the year 1, year 0, we are starting with 1. That means if today you have 40,000, the value of that 40,000 is still 40,000. Whatever you can do with it, you can do with it today. But now, if this money takes a period, it takes a year, then the value will have reduced. It will be equivalent to 0.8929. As the years goes by, also the value keep on declining. You get it? As the years goes by, our values keep on declining. That's why we have started from 1 and we are declining up to 5.6. So let's now multiply our cash flow against PVIF and get the net present value. So for year 0, it will be negative 40,000 times 1, which will be negative 40,000. So I've given you that one. Actually, that one you can do off head. And I believe you have a calculator. Give us the value for the second year. Who is giving us the value for the second year? Hello, are we there?
Yes.
13,000 times 0.8929.
Eleven 6 or 7.7.
11,
6 or 7.7.
6 or 7.7. The year 2, 8,000 times 0.7972.
63 77.6.
63
77.6.
and 7.6. Year 3, 14,000 times 0.7118.
9965.2.
9965. 5.2. Next one.
76.26.
76,
26.
26. The next one.
62 41.4.
62,
41.4.
41.4.
Yes.
The last one.
75.99.
75.99. Now add these values starting with the negative 40,000. What's the total?
And 416.9.
Yeah.
94 16.9.
94,
16.9.
16. It can't be. 9,416. It can't be if the first year one is 14,000. 11,000. Ama? Kuna mtu
Yes.
ni hivyo?
It's that way.
Is that way? Sawa. If you have confirmed, then that's okay. So now, this is the net present value. That's the net present value. So we want to do, with the net present value, it has a sister, which is called profitability index. Profitability index. I. Now for profitability index, we do present value, value divided by initial investment.
Chukua tochi jikoni ndio inatafuta. Chukua. Ona kwenye narara. Ona.
So for whatever we have done for net present value, we added all the way from negative 40,000. But now for us to get the profitability index, let's add these values here, that the values I've highlighted in yellow. Don't start with the negative 40,000. Just add those values. Those values will give us present value. We call it net present value because we start with the year 0. Now for present value, we start from year 1. So add the values that I've circled.
Sema sei ntengo sonale. Nende ya chini. Kimbia ngo Kevo aweke amo maji ya kuoga. Kimbia haraka ndio ukuje. Kimbia haraka.
What's the total?
It's 49,416.9.
Yes, Alex?
It's 49,416.9.
So that 49,416.9, that's the present value. So we do 49. Is that yellow visible on your side? 416.9. Then we divide it by 40,000, which was our initial investment. What's the answer? What's the answer to that?
It's 1.24.
1.24. Thank you. So that's how we calculate accounting in net present value, and also how we calculate the profitability index. So I'll skip internal rate of return. I will do it on its own. It's not linked to any other method, so we'll do it on its own. So I would like us to do the second question we did with the traditional method, now using the modern methods. Then we'll see how to go about it. So you remember our question 2, the second question, that was question number, it was numbered 3. Numbered 3. So I'd like you to draw the table the same way we have drawn the table. Indicate the year period, then indicate the cash flow, then PVIF. PVIF this time will be at 10% because that question has assuming a 10% cost of capital. Yes, so the PVIF will be at 10%. That means we'll get the values for PVIF at 10%. So I can give you 3 minutes. You do for project A, and then you share as the findings. If you get stuck, you can ask.
Question.
Yes,
I'm
Rebecca?
asking, we are doing the question 3, project A and B.
Yeah?
The question that you've asked us to do, is it the question 3, Mapato investment? Or which one?
Yeah, that's question 3.
For both projects.
Yeah, do first of all project A. You do independently project A, and then you do for project B.
Okay.
You can't combine, eh?
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Who is done? Who is done? Yes, Kenneth, you are done?
Yeah, I've been able to calculate the net present value for using the MPVIF of 10%,
Yeah.
and I've been able to get 78,800.
78,800.
800. Yes, then the profitability index I've been able to get 1.079.
079. Okay. Thank you. Now, can you do for project B? Do for project B.
Okay.
Have a
I'm
yes.
also confirming the same values.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that means you have mastered the concept. Thank you. Now do for project B, then I give you the decision criteria.
Okay.
Okay. Alexander, are you done?
Not yet.
Okay. Ivy Karaoke, how far? Rebecca, can see your hand is up. You are done?
Yes.
What have you gotten as a NPV?
NPV 29.
29?
192, 350.
You said 29?
292,350.
350. And the profitability index?
0.71.
0.71. Let's wait for someone else to also to confirm the same figures, and then I'll give you direction.
Okay.
Alex, are you closer?
Yes, I'm working on the second one almost.
Okay, sir, I appreciate. Ivy, you have not talked to us. Joyce, are you lost? Ken, Abraham, okay, thank you, Abraham. Continue. Abraham, as I thank you. Yes, you have a negative of 292, 350, and PVIF. Confirm PVIF. Nini profitability index. Your PVF, your confirm is 0.2973. Rebecca had gotten 0.71. Can you repeat? Just add the values, Abraham, add values from period one to the last period, then divide by the initial investment. Do again, then okay. Alexander has 0.71. Abraham confirmed Rebecca had gotten 0.71. Abraham, we are waiting for you. Yeah.
Yeah, profitability index for this second investment is 0.7116.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So note down the decision criteria. Decision criteria. We start off with decision criteria for NPV, and then you note down decision criteria for profitability index. So for NPV, decision criteria number 1, choose projects that have NPV of higher than 1 or positive, that has positive figure. Choose NPV that has positive figures. Reject point number 2. Reject projects that have negative NPV. Reject the projects that have negative NPV. Reject projects that have negative NPV. Point number 3, due to constraint of resources, rank the projects starting with the project with the highest NPV to the lowest. Starting the project with the highest NPV to the lowest, then give priority to the project with the highest NPV. Then give the priority to the project that has the highest NPV. So let me give you the decision criteria for profitability index. Decision criteria for profitability index. Number one, accept all projects that have NPV or profitability index. Accept all projects that have profitability index of above 1. Profitability index of above 1. Above 1. Point number 2. Reject all projects that have a profitability index below 1. Reject all projects that have profitability index of below 1. Number 3, due to constraint of resources, rank the projects starting with the highest profitability index. Rank the projects starting with the highest profitability index. Then give priority to the project with the highest profitability index. Then give the priority to the project with the highest profitability index. So, being the first class, I would like to adjourn at that particular point. We'll do, when we meet next, we'll do, as we recap on the other areas, we'll do the internal rate of return, then we cover other parts. So I'll give you a chance for a question or two before we close the class officially.
Thank you, Mwalimu. Maybe to ask, is this the same formula that is used by insurance companies when they are persuading people to sign up for their policies, like education policy and investment policies, for example?
Yes, it's the same, but now for us, we have looked at PVIF. Remember on PVIF table, there are two tables, there's PVIF and there's PVIF-A. So for insurance, they usually use the PVIF-A. That's the annuity. Because you are paying in small bits, then at the end of the period, you'll be given a lump sum. So they use the second table. Another question or concern? I hope you are contented with that, Nini, Kenneth. Are you okay with that now?
Yes, and I hope we shall get more practice into PVIFA as well, please.
Okay, I will share with you questions. What I wouldn't promise that we'll do, like next class, we'll only cover about 30 minutes to clear up with the internal rate of return and probably with the other questions that you could have encountered. Then we move on to the next topic because of the time available. But I will send you some questions so that you are able to do practice on yourself. Then if you have questions, you can ask for clarification. Is that fair enough?
Thank you so much.
Okay, welcome. Any other question or concern? Rebecca, you have raised your hand. Kindly ask.
Oh, I don't have any concern, but just to say that I think I've enjoyed the class and I've learned.
Okay,
Maybe
welcome.
I will request for the materials just to go
Yeah.
through.
So
Thank
I will share the questions. I know I had about 6 questions that I had lined up, so we may not be able to handle all of them, but I'll share so that you can try at your own time. The next class, when you come, you can ask. Probably you'll get some questions from there. You'll have questions to ask, and then I clarify, and then we move on to the next topic. Is that fair?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. And another concern before we adjourn the class?
Teacher, I would wish to request if we can open another WhatsApp group for this particular subject where we can have the the topics and the notes shared plus some of those questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, as opposed to that normal class where everyone is involved.
Will you take up that challenge?
Yeah, if
Let the,
the class allows me, then
Mm.
that's fine.
So if you take up that challenge to create the group, I have no problem. As long as you involve all the class members, so that we don't progress and then other members get lost along the way. Then they'll come to complain later on that they were never involved. Sir.
Okay.
So you can create and mobilize as many members as possible. Because there's a time I know you logged in up to The highest number we had is 13. But now we are closing the class with about 6. Yes, sir. So take up the challenge, create the group, and then we can share the material as much as possible. Is there another concern? If there's no other concern, let me wish you a wonderful evening and a wonderful weekend. Let's meet next Thursday, 5:30, God willing.
Amen.
Okay.
Thanks. See you.
See you too.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.